So right now I'm just test fitting the amp rack I just mounted. So I mounted it on here. So here's the amplifier, and I'm gonna wire all this up. Then I'll clean up all these wires in here. This will be my power wire right here. Got my power wire right here, and so I'll be connecting all that up. Then I gotta find me a ground, and then I should be pretty well good. Gotta clean up all these wires right here. And so right now I'm just doing a test fit, mounting it, and then we'll go from there. So the X-Type now, so what we're going to do is go inside the car, and what we'll do, we'll start tuning the frequencies for each speaker and that new subwoofer in there. And let's go right inside the car and let's go check it out. You ready, Babs? Okay, so now we're inside the trunk, and what we're going to do, we're going to remove the voice box which is on top. This is your voice box, the voice module. And then after that, after we remove that, we're going to mount the amplifier on top of the CD-ROM changer right there. And we're gonna use some plexiglass, and then we'll mount the amplifier. All right, let's undo this and let's go inside. Okay, so right now I'm just test fitting the amp rack I just mounted. So I mounted it on here. So here's the amplifier, and I'm gonna wire all this up. Then I'll clean up all these wires in here. This will be my power wire right here. Got my power wire right here. And so I'll be connecting all that up. Then I gotta find me a ground, and then I should be pretty well good. Gotta clean up all these wires right here. And so right now I'm just doing a test fit, mounting it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now what we got, you've seen what I did the unboxing on the first video of the JBL DSP. So what we've done, we've installed it, and so I'm trying to test it out and see how it, it sounds and stuff. Then in part 3, I'm gonna rip it all out and do a reinstall of it. And then plus we've got a subwoofer too. And so if you see down here, if you look on the screen right here, show it down there, Babs. We've got the RTA going right here. So the RTA will have the, we're gonna balance out the EQ and everything right here. And so that should look pretty good. And now what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go to the trunk of the car, and the trunk of the car, we're gonna check out the subwoofer and everything in there, and we're gonna see how my little setup is, okay? All right. So right now we have the subwoofer in here, and we have the JBL installed. It's a total mess in here. These are all, I'm just trying to show you me putting it together. Don't worry, it's all gonna be all cleaned up, looking good. Here's the bass knob. So I got it mounted with this new mount I put in there. Then I mounted the power wires right here. These are all gonna be covered in loom right here once I finished it. I'm gonna pull this whole thing out, clean everything up.
Can you scoot your hand back a little bit?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fiberglass all this back here. And so what we're going to try and do right now that we've got the amplifier installed, we actually need to test the distortion from the radio. So what we got to do, we've got to crank up the radio with a 40 hertz test tone, and then we're going to see when it starts to distort. And right here I have my little multimeter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here. Hold on one second. Put it right here. So you can barely see. It's really. So right here, here's that test. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit the R, hold it on R. We need a sine wave, right? So that's our sine wave. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna turn the volume up, and you're gonna see a sine wave go up and down. Then you're gonna see it peak, and it's gonna straighten off. it's going to turn into a square sine wave, and that tells me what is distortion. So you're going to go through it with me so you can understand what I'm talking about. So give me a second. Let me get a 40 hertz test tone, and then we'll run it to the car, and then we'll put it into the speakers right here, and then that will tell us our radio's distortion. That's basically what we're trying to find. We're trying to find where our gain is, because we're going to turn up the gain, and we just want to find out where it is so we can match it to the amplifier right here. All right, so let me go in the car, and we're going to get the 40 hertz test tone. All right, hold on. All right, so as you can see, we got the oscilloscope right here, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a good waveform. So let me put this down here. I'm gonna put this into the connectors, and as you can see a little line right there. All right, now turn up the volume, Babs. As you see, it's starting to go up. All right, stop. Stop right there, Babs. Okay. You can go a little more, just a little bit. Little bit. All right, stop right there. All right, so. Okay, as you can see, there's a square sine wave right there. And what we don't want, that's what we don't want. We want it to be rounded. So that's telling us that we got to turn the radio knob down just a little notch. So Babs, you want to run around the back, run around into the front, and turn the knob down a little bit. As you can see, when she turns it down, it's going to get rounded. All right, she's getting in the car. Yeah, right there, Babs. You see how it's rounded, so there's no distortion. Babs, you want to bring it up just a little bit? A little bit more? A little bit more? All right, let me take a look right here. All right, bring it down just a tad. All right, what volume number is that? 31? Okay, so at 31 is no distortion. So right now, let me go in the car and double check that I got everything flat. All right. You can see, so as you can see, we have the test tone right here, and it's a 40 hertz test tone sine wave, and we have all the EQ flat. Everything's flat, and it looks like we got the volume. The volume's gonna play at number 31, so we're maxing out at 31. I'm going to test it one more time just to make sure that the sine wave is good, and let's go around to the front. Let's double check it. All right, Babs, you ready? All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to double check that sine wave. We're at 31. All right, so right here. Okay, so now we're looking at the sine wave, and I can still see a little peak on the top right there. So I'll hold the camera, Babs, and you run into the car and turn the volume down just a little bit. Probably like try 30. 30, that looks good, perfect. Let me take a quick look at that. That looks nice right there. So that's no distortion at 30. Okay, and that's flat. So now we can actually tune everything now. So now we can pull out the laptop and start tuning the frequencies. We're gonna run the, you wanna jump right here, Babs, and hold this? We're going to tune the box. We're going to tune all the speakers. So she's coming back. And as you can see, I'm just holding the wire on one of the RCAs. If you want to grab that, Babs.
Grab the phone or
Yeah, so I can show them where I'm getting my signal from.
Sure, just a second.
So the RCA's inside of the, here's the RCA's, which I showed you in the first video how I tap into the wires. And what I do, I put this on here, put that right in the middle of it, and that right there. And that will give me my signal for the sine wave. See the sine wave right there?
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty rounded, so that means it's giving me a good signal from the radio. So it's not distorted, okay? So now we can start from there. So now what we'll do, we'll plug the amplifier back. And so if you can see what I got in here, here's the factory CD player, the factory CD-ROM. I made a nice little plate for it. I got to put the screws on there.
Let me see the plate.
This is the plate right here.
Okay, got it.
So it's a mounting plate. And so I mounted this, the power wires right here. And I'll put a loom on here, clean all this. All these wires won't be here looking all shitty like this. And then I'll be actually taking this all out, looming everything up, make it look clean, like a clean install. And here's the JBL amp. And I have a
Wait, let me see the
JBL DSP amp, 8-channel, and a 6 input. And we have right here, that's our Bass Pro 12, and that's JBL also. If you've seen one of my other videos in my XF, I put JBL speakers in the doors also. Only because they're inexpensive. You're not really paying anything for these things. And so you can get incredible sound for barely nothing really. And so if you want a sound system and you want it sounding crisp and clear, you don't need to be spending thousands of dollars just on a sound system. So right now, this sounds good. I'm going to plug everything back, turn the volume all the way down. You know our special number is what, 30?
30.
30 is a good number. So what I'll do, I'll turn everything down and we'll start doing that, pull out the laptop and we'll start tuning, okay? All right, close. Okay, so now if you can hear, you can hear the 40 hertz test tone. Let me turn it up. That's the speaker right there. Now I have the controller right here. So I'll run this inside the car. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to go get the laptop, tune it to 40 hertz, tune this to 40 hertz, and then after that we'll start tuning all the door speakers and everything. So let's go inside the car and start tuning. Okay, so right now we're in the car. And we've got everything laid out here. We've got the computer over there. We've got some music right here. And what we'll do, if you hear it, we're going to tune it so it's nice and clear. Alright, so that's the track we're going to use. Let's pause that. And let's go right to the computer. If you're going to pan to the computer, we're going to go to the JBL. Oh, we got to get the USB. If you could pat, there's going to be a USB down there, Babs. Cable. If you could pass that to me. Let me come back there if you want to pause it real quick. Okay, so here's the USB. This is coming from the JBL DSP amp. So I'm going to plug it into the laptop right here. You can find a spot right here. Here we go. So it's plugged in. Get my little mousey. All right, so let's go to JBL. Click on that. Oh, wait a second. Let me get this nice and sturdy. This thing will... There we go. Here we go. Alright, it's trying to get this all sturdy here. Hold on. Let me get this nice and... There we go. think I'll use it over here. This will be probably better. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get find the file what we used, our very last file. So let's go to load scene from file, and our very last file. Let me go to the desktop, and I got X-type DSP. And let's find the very last one, which is at 922. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's the very last one. Okay, here's the last file. Okay, good. All right, so let's see what we got here. Sub volume 0. We need to turn that up. Okay. So everything's right, that's good. Alright, so now, let me see right here. There's going to be a little knob thing back there if you want to take a look, Babs. You see a little control knob? There we go. Alright, now there's two of them. There's this one, and there should be one more.
Can you hold this for me, please?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I got it. That one's in the trunk. No biggie.
Okay.
All right. So hold on to that. That's in the trunk. All right. So let's take a look what we got here. We got all these right here. I just want to check all the frequencies. So the sub box we just put in is right here, and I got that crossed over 30 hertz. I'm going to bring that down to 40. Go back, because that's what the subwoofer is for. I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so now I got it going to 350 hertz, which is okay. So let's see. So number 6 is off. Okay, all right, that's perfect. Okay, let's turn this up a little bit. Let's start. Pause. All right, so now we got it going. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start playing around with the door speakers. So let's get the subs. We're gonna turn them off. So we've got all the subs off. So if you can hear the turn these off. Alright, so now we just got the tweeters going, alright? And that, the tweeters right here is on this one right here. So let's turn on the tweeters, that's 7 and 8. So we'll go down to 7 and 8. And that's where we got our tweeters crossed over right here. So it starts at 3200 hertz all the way down to 20 hertz, okay?
Excuse me one moment. Can you turn on the air conditioner, please?
Yeah. Let me turn on the AC for you, Babs. Starting to cook in here.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we got the, so now if you notice, this is going to be our tweeter curve right here. So all we want, the only frequencies we want to go through there is from 3200. Can you zoom in on that right there?
Point to where you need me to zoom?
Right there. Our low pass is going to be 3200, and our high pass is at 100 hertz. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Saying the wrong thing right here. It's supposed to be here. There we go. It's supposed to be 3200 to 20,000 hertz. That's why it looked a little weird. I was like 100 hertz. I'll blow them speakers right up. All right, so now if you can hear, the tweeters are going on. Nice and crisp. No bass in them at all. And so what we're gonna do now, let's take a look at the front door speakers. See, it says front, they're gonna be our mid-range, front left and front right mid-range. Let's turn them on. No bass in them. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at what I've got here, because I see this is crossed over right here, which sounds pretty good. I like that I got it crossed over right here, but there's going to be a, I don't want to cross them over perfectly. So I want this, because what will happen is it'll make a bump right here. If you cross them over dead perfect, you're going to have a bump right here like this. See the mouse? So I don't want that at 3200. I'm going to bring this to, say, let's go back. I'm going to go 3100. There we go. Get into it. Perfect. Alright. So now I'm looking at the cutoff for the bait for the mid-range. So we got high, 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 mid, mid, mid. And it's coming down closer to the mid bass right here. And I got it crossed over at 100. Now let me double check where I got my bass at again. 80. Oh, that's good. That's a good overlap. Perfect. I didn't want to cross them at 100 and 100. So there. So let's take a look at the overall picture. Turn them all on. That's nice right there. And if you see the blue, that's gonna be the rear doors. But let me take a look at what I could do with the doors, the rear doors. So let me take the rear doors are gonna be full range. That's gonna be 3 and 4. Let's take a look at 3 and 4. So let me hear what they sound like, 3 and 4. Let me hear what 3 and 4 sound like. Alright, here's the rear door speakers. Let me hear what they sound like. And while I'm tuning. Back that up. Alright, let me see. Bear with me, folks. I'm trying to get this right. So I got 3 and 4. 3 and 4 right there. Okay. So then I'm on full range. Let's see what they sound like. I think I could put that. Let's try that mid bass in the rear. Try 80. Alright, so I'll add some tweeters to it, see what it sounds like. A little bass. Oh, that sounds good. We're gonna hit the front. We're gonna hit the doors, the front door speakers also. Here we go.
Sube la música.
All right. Now that thing sounds crystal clear. So let me help you guys understand what this actually does. When you purchase the JBL DSP, the Jaguar X-Type is fairly simple, because what I'm trying to show you guys what it's going to sound like before you even jump ahead and do all this. So I'll make these little videos. I'll make part 1, part 2 to reassure you that it's either crap or it's good. But as you can hear, if you put this on your HD TV and you got your sound bar, you'll hear how crystal clear this sounds. I mean, it sounds perfect. And so it's inexpensive. You don't have to go spend a ton of money just to get all this to sound like this. It's really inexpensive. And so you can save a ton of money and make your car sound fantastic. I mean, absolutely brilliant. So what I want to show you on the screen right here, you have all your doors. You can set it up, all your door speakers, your front. 7 and 8 is going to be my tweeters. 1 and 2 is going to be my front mids. 3 and 4 is going to be my rear door speakers. They're like a mid. And then 5 and 6 is going to be my subs. Alright? And so that's how I got it set up. 7 and 8, remember, they're just tweeters. Now what I can do with this system, when you're doing your tuning, so like I'll shut this off. Let me shut it off. So I'll shut off the it's a pain in the ass to shut off. Come on, you gotta shut that off. Shut that off. Oh, there we go. So if I shut off one, you can shut off all your speakers and tune them individually and see where it sounds the best. You gotta imagine your ear is your best. You can watch all these videos on, oh, you gotta put it at this number, you gotta put it on this number. But what you gotta think about is what it sounds good to you. You're gonna be the one who's gonna be driving the car, sitting in the car, and they're giving you all these technical stuff where it's fairly easy-ish, that you're using your ears to listen to. Yes, you do need to get a bass line to get going. Yeah, that's right. But then you're gonna use your ear to do the tuning. You know what distortion sounds like. I made it so that this I maxed this out at 30 for distortion. I can't even play this up to 30, and it's loud. So if I play this up to 12, it's banging. Listen. Let me turn it on. I got that on 13. So I got that on 13, and that's banging. That's almost blowing my head out, right? The distortion kicks in at 30 on its head unit. And so, right, what I'm going to do now, we're going to go to the screen right here, Babs. And what we'll do, we're going to write this file. We're going to save, first we need to save it. I'm going to save this scene. And I'm going to save it in 2 spots. I'm going to put it in the DSP software spot so I don't lose it. Hit yes. I want to save it. Then I'm going to save it again to my desktop file. So I'm going to hit save scene. Then I'm going to go to desktop. And on one of my files, it should say X-Type DSP somewhere around here. Let's find it. There it is. And so this time I'll give it a name. I'll put X-Type dash final. Alright. You won't go as far as that, but let me back that up a little bit. That's good. Good enough. then I'll save it right here. All right, so now I've got it saved. Once you save it, now you have to write it to the DSP amp. So if I unplug this, everything's, you know, saved, yes, but it's not written to the amplifier. It's going to go back to the default. So what I got to do is go to here.
So you have to assign it.
I got to assign it. So I'm going to hit write. I'm going to choose number 8, which is X type, because I got it so I can do it for the X type and my XF also. So let's go back to 8 and hit OK. I'm not going to rename it. I'm going to keep it as X type. And now data exchanging. So now the data is exchanging to the amplifier in the trunk. So give it a second. Please wait. The beauty of this thing though, it's like it's unreal. It's like it sounds so clear. And especially with this Tesla screen, because you know that with all these Android radios, they don't come out with the best sound, you know, coming from factory. It doesn't sound the best. Okay, so now I started trying to save it, but we accidentally hit the USB out, and this wasn't connected. And so let me show you one more time. So if you're gonna save the file, you're gonna hit save screen file. Then you're gonna hit. It's gonna bring you up to the DSP software. You can hit save, right? You're gonna hit yes, and then it's gonna do all its things. Okay, so now we got it. You know, because I had this wasn't connected. I accidentally hit the USB out. And so if you want to write a file, you're gonna hit write. You're gonna find a spot you want, spot number 1, say, and you're gonna hit OK. Then you're gonna hit OK again, and then it's data exchange. You make sure that says connected, and now you've written the file to the JBL DSP. So that's basically how you do it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in more depth when I do the install video. I just wanted to show you guys overall the unboxing of it. Part 2 is is it any good? Does it sound like crap? In actuality, it sounds perfect. It's crystal clear. You can hear everything. Like let me give you an example again one more time.
Por favor, por favor, por favor, por favor, por favor, por favor, por favor.
I've only got it on 11 right now.
Sube la música.
Yeah, that's crystal clear. So you can actually hear everything perfect. Let me go back here. Okay, so what we're gonna try and put in, let's try a drum solo right here. Let's see how this sounds through here. Bring it forward a little bit. Sounds good, huh? Crystal clear. All right. Let me take out the bass. Hit a kick drum. Clear. All right, just took out the kick drum. Now I'm going to take out the rear doors. Bring up the volume. All you're hearing now is tweeter and the front doors. You're not really even hearing the front doors, actually. So I'm blocking that speaker right there, but
Oh, goodness, I'm trying to follow you.
hear that? Sounds great, huh? All right, let's bring in the front. Oh, bring in the rear. All right, let's bring in the sub. Here we go. Stop.
No, I can pause it if you
Oh,
want.
oh, it's okay. So that's the example I'm trying to give you guys, just of an inexpensive setup, and you can get crystal clear, beautiful sounding speakers out of your door speakers and your rear. The door speakers, they're all stock, you know, in the rear. The front are JBLs. The rear door speakers are the factory door speakers. The subwoofer in the back, that's a JBL subwoofer. The tweeters is not. The tweeters are JBL also. So the front stage is JBL speakers. Rear doors, I didn't need to replace them. They sounded great. So they're the factory ones. JBL door, the subwoofer is JBL's. So it sounds absolutely fantastic. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the install of the JBL, all the wiring. I'm gonna yank all that stuff out. Then we're gonna make it look nice, presentable, and then we'll go from there. And then in actuality, I'm gonna put the same sub inside of the XF because it sounds incredible. I'm just blown away by that subwoofer. Right, Babs? You too?
No.
And don't forget, when these screens, everybody knows that when you buy like a head unit, the sound quality is not going to be that great. It's going to sound decent. You can get by. If you're like my wife, she'll turn it up and she's fine with that. She doesn't need all this big loud bass and all this kind of stuff. I'm from Birmingham, the UK, and we used to go, when I was growing up, we used to go to these reggae parties and all kinds of parties and rave, everything. And everything there is like in England, bass. You know what I mean? It's a lot of sound, So I'm used to, having nice sound in my vehicles from growing up in the sound, listening to sound in the music. So like I could give you an example. When I was growing up, I listened to all kinds of genres. So like I'm gonna give you an example right now. I used to listen to ska music in England. So you had like groups like the Specials. Let's go with the Specials. And you had the Beat, and you had the. So I listened to all kinds of different musics, growing up, and so like here's like some music I'd listened to from back in the day. So back then I used to listen to ska music. So I used to listen to some Specials. I used to listen to the Beat. I used to listen to all kinds of music growing up in England. I used to go to the bull ring and then meet up with my friends and, walk around bull ring all day long. So it's a good time. So I listened to all kinds of different music. And then next thing you know, I'm listening to some jazz. And so I'll put in some jazz like this. I'll type in some jazz. Let's find some jazz. Oh. Jazz. Oh. Hit the wrong thing here. Messing it all up. Jazz. Let's go with some smooth jazz. How about that? Instrumentals. So I put on some smooth jazz, you know, sometimes throw a little something like this going. Kinds of genres I listen to, so I'm just into music, sound, you know. So in my XF, I like power, I like a little bit of sound in it too, also. So you know, but you know, as you grow older, you don't want to be ripping. All right, Babs. So tuning session is pretty good, huh, Babs?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get on out of here. Got a little smooth jazz going on.
Sounds wonderful.
Sounds good, huh, Babs?
Sounds beautiful.
Let's get this AC going on. This windows are getting all fogged up. See, the good thing about that, you can get your AC going.
Mm-hmm.
You can move your music around like that.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool. Turn up your, clear up the windows right here. Nice. All right, folks. Get ready for part 3, where we're actually gonna do some pulling the wires and attaching wires and doing all kinds of good stuff. All right, right, Babs?
Sounds good.
All right, see you then.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Bye. Okay, guys, we have this cool feature on here also. My phone might look a little washed out here, so just bear with me. So if I go into, maybe I have to clean the lens on this thing. I don't know. Let me see if I can clean the lens. All right, yeah, that looks better. My lens is a little cloudy. So there's a couple of cool features on here. You can actually change the background to whatever background you want. See all the little backgrounds you can change it to? It's pretty cool. Leather and some carbon fiber and all kinds of crazy metal. Some kind of whatever that is, steel. So you can change the backgrounds on here also. Some kind of leather case, leather, black leather, like a grayish leather, whatever that is. You got even a wood finish, which will go well with your regular wood inside the car. And so you get all kinds of different tones of wood finishes. So you got all kinds of like different wallpapers you could put in the back. Now, there's an app I have on here also, which I wanted to show you guys. If I go into my app drawer right here, and it's called Wen's View. Let's see if I can find it for you guys right here. Okay, so what this does, say you go on vacation, you're out there in your vacation, you drove down there, or say you drive somewhere, and you want to keep an eye on your cars or whatever, your house, your building. So what you do, you click on here, and now you got full control of the cameras around your house. And so what I can do, see that white car right there? Now you gotta imagine this is at night now, so you can see pretty good at night. So I can just scroll it over here, and I can see my XF. See right there? And so that's pretty cool. You know, you just click on it, and you got right here if you want to move the cameras. Let me see if I can. I think I gotta go into this mode. Yeah, there you go. Now I can got full control. And then now you hit the full. That puts it into like a HD, and so that looks pretty cool. And you gotta imagine this is at night, so you could barely. I could see my car right there, and this is at night time. And you can rotate the camera all around with this right here, this little dial. So I can rotate the camera all the way around the condo complex. So if I hold on to that, it'll rotate it for me. And I could go down to my door. See if I can get it down there. Just bear with me, because I'm trying to do this with my holding this by myself. Hold on, let me so right there I can see the front of my door, and it's pretty cool. You know, if you click on here, and then you can start recording if you want to. If there's something happens at your house while you're away in your car, you could just check on your house. You could make a picture, take a picture of it, see a screenshot went on there. You could do video. You can use the microphone. What else you can do? Let's go back. Actually, let's go back this way. Oh, get it to go back. There we go. So the camera's actually moving right now. Oop, went a little too fast. Just bear with me because I'm trying to do this while holding the camera at the same time. And so what you're gonna do now, you can go, let's go back to this right here. And you go down to here and you can go to alerts. And so if it has a built-in motion sensor. So you can see what happened earlier on that day. So if I click on here at 9 o'clock, this is what happened. And I hit play. It'll tell you that, see the car driving by? It tells me that a car drove by at that time, whatever. So this is a pretty cool feature added into the Tesla screen I have right here. And it's really, really good, and I like it because if I go and take a trip with the wife, I can keep an eye on the cars, and I'll keep an eye on my condo and whatever. And so everything's gravy. So that's one nice little feature. So that's what I got right now, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you guys. Get ready for part 3, and I got the logo of my car in there also, so that looks pretty cool. Alright, so part 3 is coming up. Forgot to show you guys the air conditioning. This is my air conditioning control panel. If you want to turn on the fans or whatever, which is pretty cool. Alright, thank you guys. If you can like and subscribe, thank you. Bye-bye.